Kristyn Hartman graduated from Northwestern University after graduating from Stagg with a major in radio, television, and film. Her first job was in Missouri, or Missouri, I guess I really should say, as a one-woman band, which is a thing now in journalism. She shot, edited, produced, wrote, and presented her own material at a time when that wasn't quite as common as it is now. Moving closer to home, back to Illinois, she took her job next at WMBD-TV in Peoria as a weekend anchor and producer, and then she moved to Phoenix as a general assignment reporter at KTVK-TV, which must have been very hard to say. Channel 3, is that all you said? Okay. Her most memorable moment there, a 25-minute interview with President Bill Clinton. Kristyn's next move to Charlotte, North Carolina, where she was the 10 p.m. newscaster. In 2004, she came home to Chicago as the morning anchor for WBBM-TV Channel 2. During her last 3 years in Chicago, she was the marquee reporter at 10 p.m., her dream come true. Her proudest moment there, a story on teen moms, which garnered international attention and prompted change in the community. In 2012, we lost Kristyn to Columbus, Ohio, as the main anchor there for WBNS-TV. Since 2017, she has anchored the 5 o'clock, 5:30, and 7 o'clock news for WCPO-TV in Cincinnati, while also serving as the station's health reporter. And you have help there, I assume. You're not just a one-woman band when you do that anymore. Her proudest moment there, a story about an iconic photo, I found this fascinating, of her father, which was used in Ken Burns' documentary about the Vietnam War. Over the course of her career, Kristyn's won 4 regional Emmys, 3 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, and 2 Ohio Associated Press Awards. Kristyn's career has given her a platform to champion important causes, among them the importance of early detection of breast cancer. A survivor herself, Kristyn has used her personal story to educate and inspire others. She's also an advocate for Habitat for Humanity, for the right for all people to be treated fairly and equally, and for the American Heart Association. Please join me in welcoming Kristyn Hartman into the Legacy Hall class of 2018.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. I really appreciate it. And you said, it's funny because you said Missouri, and when I worked there, it was my first TV job, and I thought it was somebody's strange way of saying misery. Because it was so hard, you know. My mom and sister even came to visit me, and they're like, how do you do this? It was one-man banding. I wouldn't recommend it. The equipment was like 70 pounds, and you're trudging through stuff and going to places you didn't know, and learned a whole heck of a lot, which was a real gift. And I have to tell you, a real gift was being at Stagg today. It truly was. What it showed me is that the torch is burning brightly, and educators are still lighting young minds, just like they did when I was a student there back in 1988, a long time ago. It really put me on my path, and I loved each and every one of my teachers. I found a super sweet spot, though, in the English department. Mr. Busek challenged me. Mrs. Hiller taught me that the sky really was the limit. And Mr. Baltz, you gave me the IRQ and the issue-raising question. It has really been the foundation of my career. In fact, back in 1993, when I was in Missouri, there was a county commissioner named Louis Moneymaker, no joke. That was really his name. And he said to me, after I was asking him a bunch of questions about this tax, he said, who told you to ask that question, honey? And I thought to myself, Mr. Baltz would really appreciate this moment. It really, I can't say enough how much Stagg and the experiences that I had there, and the classes that I took there, and the teachers and the kids, how much it really, really put me on a path, and I am so grateful for that. And so totally encouraged today to see the same sorts of things happening. I got to sit in on the Voice of Witness, VOW, and Wow to Vow. I have to say that. It is a class that takes a deep dive into interviewing, which is what I love and what I do for a living. And these kids were just so impressive. They've written books and they've published books. I mean, who knew? It's amazing stuff. And when they talked to me about what it was they were doing, there was one young lady who brought up the word empathy and how empathy filters in. And that really made me smile because it shows that they're not just learning, they're learning with heart and humanity. And that is so important. I know that after having walked the path that I've walked, and it has to filter into everything you do every day. So it made me proud to have walked the path that they're walking. And it made me proud to be a Charger. I will always be a Charger pride. Yes! And I am so honored and humbled to be here today to accept this award. You read a list of awards. Honestly, this one means the most to me. It really does. It really does. So thank you. And I have to thank my family. My kid sister, who is also a Charger, Lori, her husband, Pat, my mom, my dad. You always believed in me, and that gave me wings. Thank you.